I like the idea of it, but they've put in that word mandatory, and then they've got so many exemptions with the word mandatory. So is it mandatory or is it not?
Hello there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Faith Dodger and I'm literally the girl next door. Today, I'm in the county of Essex and I am going to investigate on what the people's thoughts are on the potential introduction of national service for 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom. It's a debatable topic and it's going to be interesting to hear people's views. If you are as curious as I am, keep watching this video right to the end. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. National service was a standardized form of peacetime conscription. In 1947, it was announced that all able-bodied men between the ages of 18 and 30 were to be called up. This was quickly changed to all 17 to 21-year-olds. The conscripts initially served for 18 months, but in 1950, during the Korean War from 1950 to 1953, this was increased to 2 years. Between 1949, where the National Service Act came into force, and 1963, when the last national serviceman was demobbed, more than 2 million men were conscripted to the British Army, Royal Navy or Royal Air Force. Conscripts remained on the reserve list for 4 years. During this time, they were liable to be called to serve with their units, but on no more than 3 occasions for 20 days maximum. Students and apprentices were allowed to defer their call-up until they completed their studies or training. Conscientious objectors had to undergo the same tribunal tests as in wartime. After 1945, however, national service did not extend to women. Recently, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak outlined that under the proposed new policy, 18-year-olds would either have to take a 12-month placement in one of the armed forces, or they would have to spend 1 weekend a month doing mandatory volunteer work.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay. I just want to find out from you what your views are on the potential introduction of national service for 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom.
I think it'd be pretty good for the country. I mean, it'll give a few more opportunities for people turning 18 and for like what they could do in their future life and make life a bit better for them.
Would you sign up for national service?
Probably not. I mean, I've got different interests in my life, but I assume a lot of people would like to go down that route and try that out or get involved in it.
Okay, alright. Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm doing good, you?
I'm fine, thank you. Alright, I just want to find out what your views are on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the UK.
I mean, I think it would be beneficial. I mean, it'll help a lot of people like experiment with what they like, see if they like it or not.
Okay.
And,
would you sign up for national service?
I might, honestly. It depends what sector I'm in though, so.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, thank you so much.
No problem.
How are you today?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Okay. Tell me, what's your opinion on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom?
I think it's a good idea for the teenagers that don't have focus, perhaps are not going to university or don't know what to do with their career path. I think it's going to give them a good chance to perhaps learn new skills, because even going to do this, they perhaps might learn catering, they might learn engineering, so there's other opportunities rather than perhaps staying at home and doing nothing. So I personally do think it's a good idea rather than us paying them to not have any future. So I think this is going to give them a good start in life, give them focus, to be able to give them some form of structure to their life, to have purpose.
Okay. And what's your take on making it mandatory for all teenagers? For all 18-year-olds, that is.
Okay. I think it should be mandatory if they're not going to university, if they've not got another job, and they are fit and able to do so.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm good.
All right. So I just want to find out what your thoughts are on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the UK.
See, I don't agree with it because I think the younger generation have been done a great disservice by the government, and I think if they're expecting service in return to fix problems that they've caused, I think that's very unfair, especially when we wouldn't even get paid for it. It just feels like they're making us do their work for free. It just feels really wrong to me.
Oh, actually, there is going to be a stipend, but it hasn't been discussed yet as to how much it's going to be.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I didn't realise that. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought because they said potential voluntary work, so I thought that meant for free, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Oh, thank you so much.
It's all right.
Okay. Hello. How are you today?
I'm very good, thanks.
Okay, thank you. I just want to find out what your thoughts are on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the UK.
I think it's an outrage personally. I don't think that people should be forced to go and do national service against their will. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
It's all right.
Hello.
Hiya.
How are you today?
Great, thank you.
Okay. So I just want to find out what your thoughts are on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom.
Not happy about it. I think it's a breach of freedom for humanity. I think what the government needed to have done many years ago was to give young people a chance. Reintroduction of youth clubs, give them some productive time and space so that they can be free and just do what they want to do, rather than taking a lot of rights away from parents and disciplining their children. And now they're saying that youths have gone wild all over the streets, gun crime, knife crime, children and teenagers trying to find a sense of family in these gangs, and then now they're using that as an excuse to say, okay, when they turn 18 they have a choice, which clearly they don't. They have a choice to either take one voluntary service or another, but it's not voluntary because they have to choose one or the other. And I think it's a big cop-out for the government, and I think they should be ashamed of themselves. And I won't be happy for my son or my daughter who would be dead against it. I'd rather go to prison. That would be my choice. I would serve in prison.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Hello, how are you today?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the UK?
I think there's a good idea there, but I believe for me personally, is general, where's this funding for it going to come from? They're going to need to build new infrastructure everywhere in terms of if they're going to be in the military, it's extra sort of workload on existing staff to train these young people. And so, for example, the NHS there's going to be further burdens on the NHS, or they're going to need further staff to sort of supervise these people when they're doing this. Really.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your time.
That's all right, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really agree with mandatory service. It's not really something I believe in. I think people should have a choice. You know, war isn't a game. It's a horrible thing. So yeah, it's not something I agree with personally.
All right. Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I just want to find out what your thoughts are on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom.
I don't like it. I think it's being introduced by people who have never had to do national service. They are enforcing quite old ideals onto a generation that have had a lot of things put onto them already, post-COVID, people whose whole kind of future has been severely impacted by university fees being tripled over the years. You know, no one has that kind of financial security looking forward that they do. And then with national service, they're trying to say that people are stuck in their own bubble and they want people to have a sense of national pride that isn't there. I think, especially in the military aspect of it, the side where you're looking at volunteering in the NHS or in the fire or in the police departments, that's a better idea, but it's still not great because there are people who are having to work full time when they leave education, and they might not necessarily have that one weekend a month to do it. And what the implications might be if people don't sign up to do that mandatory national service. They say they're not going to have any criminal pushbacks from it, but I don't like the idea of future employers being like, oh, well, you didn't do this national service, we don't want you, we want someone else who did do the national service. I just think it's implying so many things for these younger people who haven't had a chance to decide what they want to do in life, and forcing people to do something is never a good idea.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hiya.
How are you today?
It's a beautiful day. I'm doing lovely, thank you.
Oh, that's good. So tell me, what are your thoughts on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom?
I think the terminology is very, very poor. I like the idea of it, but they've put in that word mandatory, and then they've got so many exemptions with the word mandatory. So is it mandatory or is it not? And then if it's not mandatory, there's non-criminal convictions. Well, again, what does that mean? Does that mean that people are going to get fined? Because that would imply non-criminal. So already we're struggling economically, and then you're going to be fining more people. And could that potentially lead to future implications for people? You didn't do your national service, so you don't get X, you don't get Y, you don't get Z. Could that be limiting people? We've then got a issue with the job market as well. So you're going to be taking people out of the job market to do something that they're not going to be paid for. So we're making that more challenging as well.
Oh, they did say that there is going to be a stipend, but they haven't decided as to how much it's going to be.
No, that's also very true. But I think the other aspect to it as well is they've leaned on the national pride concept. I don't think there are a lot of people that have national pride, and when you've had stipulations put in place by a government that have then stepped out of those stipulations. I mean, we used the thing through lockdown, for example, and then after that, the illicit parties by the people that were setting those rules and laws were found to be true. So you've got it seems like a very disbanded government that are then they're trying desperately to reach out to that voter that they know that they'll be able to target. But it's not them that are making the decisions, it's the younger population that should be making the decisions because it's their future. I think it's a good idea. I think making it mandatory is just not going to work. It's gonna fail as a system, which there's a surprise. We've had so many systems that have failed in this government. I think it's a good idea, but I don't believe that it's going to work, and I think it will lead to more problems in the end.
Right. Thank you so much for your opinion and time.
Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you. Hello, how are you today?
I'm absolutely wonderful, thank you.
Okay, so tell me, what are your thoughts on the potential introduction of mandatory national service for 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom?
I think it's an invasion of privacy. I don't think it should be compulsory. I think each person should be able to make their own decisions. What if somebody's against war? Why should they have to contribute towards that? I also think that the government should spend less money on wars and weapons and spend more money on helping out the NHS and other services that are in dire state. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Today, I've gathered a lot of interesting pointers that hadn't even crossed my mind. It's important to have these discussions as there are no right or wrong answers. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video thus far. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.